Welcome everyone back to Pommy and Oz. Hope we're all doing really well. If you're new around here, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe. It really helps the channel out. We've been smashing the subscribers, so I can't thank you enough for the support. It's been absolutely immense. Thank you for the lovely words in the review. We're now into the off-season content. We're going to start with Carlton. We're going to do 18 of these videos for each club. We're going to talk about the list sizes, the list restraints, where they are, what they're looking for, but more importantly, we're going to talk about how is that possible, because obviously the AFL has strict and stringent rules on how the system looks. So you've always got to remember that. It's not as easy as you can just go out and buy whatever you want. You have got salary caps, but you've also got list size caps. So we're going to start with something we know, Carlton, and we're going to do this for each of the other clubs. So we're going to do this as an exercise together. So let's get straight into it. So when you look at Carlton, right, we can see the current list sizes. So this here, this screen you're going to see here is after we've made our changes. But at the moment, Carlton are one over their list size. How is that possible, Pom? Well, they have an injury replacement. So that is how they've got an extra rookie A, as you can see there, pushing them to 45. So that means straight away we've got to get rid of one player. Now, I see a lot of people talking about delist this player in contract. One of the names I've seen quite a lot is, he's always picked on Lewis Young. You can't delist a player that is in contract, right? You can't. There's only two. You can pay him out, which affects your cap and how much you can spend, right, this year, or you can mutually agree to terminate the deal, or you trade him. There's no way you can do that. So we're not even going to cover anything like that, because if you're delisting players in contract, that means that you've made horrific list decisions, and it's also a horrific look for the AFL, and you ain't going to recruit anyone if you start doing that, right? What you'll see here is the players that we're committed to, right? So straight off the bat, you can only have two rookie Bs. The Blues have got Matt Duffy in statue, so that means straight away we can pretty much deduce that Domaku is either going to be promoted to a rookie A or delisted straight off the bat. Ben Camporelli is going to be in a top 40 pick, so even though they've changed the rules, Lucas Camporelli may be listed as a rookie A in the rookie draft as a father-son. Ben Camporelli will be on the senior list, right? So straight away there, we've got two list spots to play with, 36 list size, right? We'd have to delist 3 players, though, to get them on the list. And the rookie A, we could promote one, but we'd have to remove 2 rookie Bs. So when you are a rookie A8, genuinely you have 0 rookie Bs. This one looks pretty much signed and sealed and delivered, right? So let's just play with what we know, right? At the moment, we know he's going to come on. He's going to have to come on as a senior player. We know Ben Camporelli is going to definitely come on there. We know Pick 11's definitely going to come on there, right? Lucas, let's just say he comes on there, and Matt Duffy. So that means we're going to have to make, to get this, 1 senior list change, right? And then we're going to have to remove 4 of these, right? So it comes up to there, right? We're going to have to do that. So let's see if we can do this, right? So let's just say Jack Carroll. We've got Jack Carroll. And what we'll do is we'll delist all these players first, right? Just to see what that looks. So if we go D, right, for him, Jack Martin, we go D, right? Caleb Marchbank, we go D. David Cunningham, delisted. Right, Matt Carroll, delisted. Sam Durden, delisted. Right, Domaku, okay, Oris is traded. Oh, he's there. Oris, and that's to say Murkoff is there. Right, so let's have a look at what that does to our system. You can see here that we need to bring 1 player in. We need to bring 5 senior players, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, which would mean we'd have a trade target, right? That would go up to 6, because we've brought in Lucas and Matt Duffy, so we should be okay there, right? So that is based on all of these being the same, right? So let's take these back to where they were, right? And what we'll do here is we will do this logically. So I think he will be traded, right? So we could get a third for him. It's going to be interesting what Jack Martin is. He's an NFA, which means it would have to be traded or that. I think a third might be too much, but let's just say we delist and trade him. We delist him. We delist him. I'd say we rookie him, right? I'd say we delist him. I hope we keep him. So in this one here, we're going to make him senior and we're going to keep him rookie A. So let's play this game. So Jack Carroll, right? We've traded. Jack Martin, we've delisted and or traded. Caleb Marchbank and Connors, right? We've done, right? Matt Carroll, we've rookie 8. Sam Durden, we have delisted. Dom Aku, we have delisted, right? And Dom Aku, we've delisted. Matty Owens, we've re-signed to the senior list. And Murkoff, we've rookied Aid. So let's see how this works, right? So let's put this so we're on the same level playing field, right? Okay, so let's go to the draft. We rookie B him straight away, right? So now we've got 40, right? So we've got 40. We've maxed out this. We can't use this, right? Let's just say pick 11. We get Tom Gross, right? Let's just say we senior list Nick Haynes, right? We're on 34, right? Let's just say we senior list Ben Camporelli. We're on 35. Now we'd have an option here, right, to take Ben Camporelli, 36. We've maxed out the list spots. We've maxed out the list spots. Let's say we change this and we delist Alex Murkoff and we say we're going to back Hudson Keefe in, right? That would change to that, which means we'd have to take someone in the rookie draft, or we hope this guy slides, which he should do, right? He should do, right? This would give us an extra list spot, right? So this is where it's going to come down to. You're either trading out Matty Owens, right? You're trading out Matty Owens, having a full rookie A spot, and bringing someone in. So you're just delisting Alex Murkoff, or you're trading out Matty Owens. I reckon you get a second or a third. 31 and 62 are going to be taken up with the bid for Ben Camporelli. I think Lucas will slip into the 40s, 50s, and will probably be farther asunder at that stage in the rookie A draft. You can see Carlton's list here is really, 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 really tight. You can see here that we've probably got one list to play in. Let's say we bring in Ali Kalia, right, based on this methodology, right? That's what this list would look like. And that is with trading out him and bringing him in. So it's going to be a real interesting case that this one here is probably the Matty Owens one, the most important deal, because whatever you've got to get from him, you've got to turn into your list spots. And the way I see it, Carlton need a POD in the midfield. They definitely need to look at a proper small forward that's leading, that's ready to play now, because at the moment, Matty Owens is it. And they definitely want a point of difference in the defence. When we look at the players that possibly have heard as trade bait, Matt, if we go with trade bait, so we'll create a new one here, right? We'll create a new one here. Let's call it trade bait, right? Trade bait. And you see how this is so fascinating if you play this game, that it's really hard to get. Right, but let's just say Jesse Motlop's there, right? Jesse Motlop's there, right? So he's, what, 2025? Right? Adam Chera, potentially, people have mentioned him. Zach Williams, I don't think he will, but he's 2026. If you look here, people have talked about Fantasia, but again, we're not in it. I'd say Mitch McGovern potentially is in that category that some teams might look at. You can see here that he's quite thin because people aren't going to take him, so I'm not even going to put him in the list. But Matt Payne, teams aren't going to take when he's on such a deal for 2027, because that means he's going to increase the value. And the fact that he signed with us would suggest that people weren't willing to match them times. Jesse Motlop is probably the same as Matty Owens. Like, people talk about potential in this league. Potential people don't pay on. They don't pay on. They pay on cold, hard facts. And at the moment, Jesse Motlop's output, if you are a list manager, if you're paying a second, there's probably a countless players in the second if you've got small forwards now that you're willing to part with. And Matty always would be ahead of the queue because he's proven a goal scorer. Adam Chera, this is where the salary comes in. Carlton don't want to be getting rid of this player and putting it on the box, but this would open up a list spot. But you've got to be opening up a list spot with the Ben Camporelli bid. Let's just say that this bid, right, is where the consensus draft is. That's 32, right? Right. Let's make it easier, 30, which would kill these bids. Carlton are hoping for a pick in the teens for one of these players. Potentially you would get one for Adam Chera, right? But with his injuries the last 2 years, our team's going to back it in. Our team's going to do the same with Zach Williams. No, they're not. That's probably going to be after 30. So with Carlton are trading away picks, right? They're doing it to double up, and I don't feel there's anything logical. Maybe Motlop, but when people talk about just trade it, if you think players rubbish, so do other list managers. They're in this game. So I think if we look at it realistically, right, and we do this, like proper realistically, right, I'd say he gets traded, he gets delisted. They will rookie A him. I think they will rookie A him. And I think that they will re-sign Matty Owens, right? This will be where the question is. So that we've delisted, right? We've rookied Aid, we've delisted Sam Durden, we've delisted Dom Aku, we've tried to seal him, and we've rookie Aid him, right? As we can see there, right, that would basically mean, right, and if we mirror these, right, so they're the same, rookie A, Matt Duffy, right? Senior list, Lucas, Ben, pick 11, Nick Haynes, 36, list is full, right? So that means here, the two question marks here of this type of deal is this guy is definitely Matty Owens. That's why I think Matty Owens hasn't signed. The Blues are seeing what they can get, and I would say that if they can get maybe a deal here with some clubs for these two late picks, they go 62 and 65, they couple them up, or maybe they see a rookie in there that's been missed from one of the good clubs we know, Carlton, like the Northern Knights, the Sandringham. It's going to be really interesting. We can see here the list spot here is required. I would say if you're looking for value, Matt Kennedy may be on that list, which if Matt Kennedy left, would mean that you could bring in a Lee Kalia or someone like that. It's going to be a really interesting time because, as you can see, Carlton's list spot is at crunch, and it's next year where we have a lot of players out of contract that are on the senior list where we can get creative. I predict here that the Blues are in a horrible predicament of where they want to add fresh meat, but the problem is they've clung onto these injured players all the time, because if you look here at the injured players that are always injured, right, it makes up quite a large part of that. So you think there is 9 players, right? 5 of them will be removed from this thing, and you may be here now having to back Durden and Motlop, knowing that they have very little trade value and collateral to go on. So this is going to be a real fascinating time. And what I do want to remind you is that the most commonly traded players in the AFL in season, when they're not in their last years of deals, are the players that are out of contract the year after. And if you look at that, right, 2025 out of contract, there isn't a lot of value. You're probably looking at a third, second, third. When people say, why am I saying that Jack's there? They're 10 a penny, these types of players, and he hasn't played for a year. You may be looking at a first here with a caveat that Carlton plays something. Could get a second, third here, second, third here. You're probably looking at Malt first here if you trade him now, and I'd say he's a required player. You're looking at fourth. You're looking at a fourth, fifth here. This would be a real fascinating 1, 2, and 3. I reckon Brody Kemp may push a top-end 7. So second, third. You're looking here with his age here, you're probably looking at a second, third here. George Hewitt, and more the late thirds here. Lemmy is going to be a real fascinating case. 4th and 5th. Haven't seen enough of him. You may get a 3rd, 4th out of this. A 3rd, 4th here. And this would probably be a 2nd, 3rd. You can see that if you just look at the 2nd, 3rds, because you're going to have a bid here around the 30, that's worthless this year, right? Unless you get into 20. And remember, with these father-sons, the more teams that get ahead of it, the earlier the bids come historically. Matt Kennedy's definitely a false where you could probably really bolster this up with a pick. Mitch McGovern, I just don't see it. Like, the only teams you'd be targeting are fairy tale stories. For me, teams like Eagles, who have been linked with him from fans, there's no need for it. There isn't a need because they've got Jeremy McGovern there to guide the guys. They want to be playing a young player with Barras leaving to get him up to speed ASAP Rocky. TDK, you're going to get as many picks as you want for him, but again, there isn't a ruckman in this draft that replaces it. There isn't a ruckman on the trade table that replaces it. Eladio Fantasia, worthless. Sam Doherty, he's valuable to us because of who he is. To other clubs, you've got to take the emotion out of it. Are they paying someone to be a coach, effectively? Because if he does do another ACL, this is quite a lot of collateral. I think that's like maybe a 3rd and 4th. Brody Kemp, what is he? Carlton have suddenly turned him into a forward. Definitely, this would probably be more interest to Eagles than the other Mitch McGovern because he's young and there's probably some signs there, but he's probably been multi-used. Again, my argument is I think we need backmen. So, taking Kemp out, he's definitely AFL ready. Jacob Weir, we can't replace him, so even if it's 4th first, I wouldn't do it. Nick Newman, if I get a 2nd, I'm probably doing it because it's the most commonly position that people can play early doors. Cowan's shown signs, Sard's there, there's still majority. Again, though, your depth is weak after that if you do lose him. So he's probably required, not just from his skill, but also the fact he's incredibly good. He makes the depth bigger. George Hewitt, this is an argument. Cooper Lord could come in. Definitely. Are you going to get value, though, that isn't going to be eaten up and you're in the shit category because you want to be in the top 30 in this draft? Probably not. I don't think teams are going to play pick 28, 29 for him, right? Harry Lemmy, someone might pay a 3rd. They might have seen something, but the fact that he hasn't made the seniors when Carlton had no key forwards will put them off. Rob Monahan project, no one's going to do it. They'll just do it themselves. Billy Wilson, I think you could maybe snag a 3rd if someone's seen someone in VFL. But again, important depth position because that's where Carlton have drafted. They want quick players off halfback, which I think is where he's going to go. Cooper Lord, Pomcoa, Sard, see what I said about Newman. You may be able to get something for him, but you're probably not. So that's where it looks like for me. I would say at this stage, you're probably going to see 6 of these delisting trades, and then Murkoff and Owies. Murkoff probably leaves if there is a rookie there that's on there. Matty Owies, though, is probably the list spot, and if not, we're going to have to look to trade active players. The Blues are in a really precarious football position, and the fact Nick Haynes won't be eligible for the rookie draft, the fact they're going to have to take someone at pick 11, is it fascinating? And a big one here with this pick 11 is even if they trade it out for Dan Houston, let's say, big problem because of all them players we discussed about potentially leaving next season, right? They're going to have to remove some of them older players if there's picks. If they've traded a future first, even though they've got 2 futures to trade next year, they've got Cody Walker to worry about the year after, which one of them futures will have to be in play for with the new NFL rules. It's a real funny one. So Nick Austin's got a lot of work to do. I've got a few plans, though. It might seem doom and gloom. Stay tuned for that. But I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know what you do. Peace, love, and light. Pom out.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella